Hey, Yuki, turn your stream back on.
Oh, they're
There.
DC and over here.
And it looks like they're taking the fight to them at the ruins.
I can't even see.
Yeah, they're a little bit of everywhere. Very, very, very spread out. But you know, this is more true to a multi-style fight. You know, very much in the open, not much terrain. This is where callers and war callers come into such a big play. You know, understanding how to call. And with Ryer's team, the complication is they changed their name to Ninten. And anybody who has been in this scene for a long time knows that when you start changing names, you have to be almost like an auctioneer style. And there was a KO, and one down already. Metal is out. Looks like Vryer and them are not playing around, and we're going to find out who the better callers are here. Can Adex keep up with Vryer? But back to what I was saying, it's so difficult when everybody has the same name and the same gear, because normally in a fight you would call location. Well, they're in an unknown location, so they're in the open. There's nothing to call. And then you would call name. Well, they're all Ninten. So what do? You have to call level. Well, most of these guys are 125, 126. And then you want to call them in Void. Well, they're all wearing Void and matching tank. And that creates a lot of confusion in a battlefield like this. You know, if they want to pile Mini, all Vryer has to do is call Mini Bell, and she's done. I think the name swap for both the Sheza Beans and Vryer Nintens was a great call. You know, it's very true to what we do in multi-combat. It's very true to warring, and I think, as we're seeing right now, it may pay off. And those were fantastic spears, and it looks like Adex may not want to fight Vryer in the open again. Keck 9 now tanking.
Did they kill Adex?
Ballistic punch. Yeah, it looks like Ada, he either ran off or he's down. I didn't see him fall, but he is not on the screen. It looks like Minibel and Keck 9 are tanking, and it's down to Minibel. Minibel, the stronghold that PVM are holding in last for her team. And true to what it is, Vryer brought his team together. They rallied, great spears, and they took it out. That was a fantastic, absolutely dominant round by Vryer and his team. And it looks like we're going to round 3. Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. You giving them a couple minutes to reset?
Yep.
Wow, that was absolutely what we wanted to see out of this tournament, and I hope we get to see more stuff like that. That really does go to show the experience that some of these guys have in multi-way combat. Actually, real fast, we'll pull Vryer in here for a second if you want to give them an extra minute.
Yeah, they're good. They have some time.
Hey, Vryer, we're going to borrow you for a minute. That was an absolutely dominant round compared to your last rounds. What was the change up? Why did you decide to take it into an open area like that?
Well, you can only wait for so long. People want action, and like I said, we're gonna go out with the bangs.
Yeah, I mean, that was just dominant, absolutely dominant.
Did you see the back-to-back game?
We did, yes. Yeah, I mean, good specs always help, but I mean, you guys seemed much more coordinated than when you were inside, and you looked much more in your element. They didn't really seem to know how to react, and I imagine there was a little bit of confusion on their side. You had fantastic spears. We weren't in there with you, but I would imagine you were coordinating and calling most of that.
Yeah, we packed the spirit all day today, and we decided to at the start focus Doom, but we noticed he switched out of the void where he gave it to another team member. It was ratty of him, but yeah, no, we did way better.
No, yeah, that was great, man. Congratulations, and excited to see how this next round goes. I'll move you back down.
Thank you.
That was such a big play.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, whoever loses this is knocked out of the tournament completely. So this is gonna be a big round for them. They gotta try their hardest here.
And we're gonna pull 8x up here for a quick second as well. Hey Dex, we're gonna borrow you real fast for a second, man. So you looked really good in that first fight. What fell apart?
You know, the second fight, we were trying out something new about the pinging, and I got distracted. I was pinging too much. I didn't even know my HP was low because of their names.
Yeah, I mean, they had back-to-back KOs and some really great spears on you guys.
Yeah, it's all about. I mean, the void really hit hard. It's not bad, pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
give it to
So you think you got your adjustments for the next round?
Yeah, definitely. I wanted it to
Alrighty.
make it more action, you know?
Absolutely.
Give them the win. Make them
Yeah.
be happy for once in their life.
Yeah, you offered them that win. That's a bold statement. We'll see how it goes in round 3. Satan
right.
actually sent me a message and told me to tell you to let your team know that if everybody sticks around after this, there's going to be a pretty big drop party. So it looks like everybody will get a little bit of something out of this.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, by the
All right,
way,
man.
Doom is injured in real life, so let's see. Okay, he's back.
Doom is injured in real life.
Yeah, he's in a
Doom
wheelchair.
sprained
He's in a
himself.
wheelchair. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Alright, he's
actually,
back
he
again.
told me he was in a car accident, but I'll
Yeah,
move
yeah.
back down there to
Okay, he's back.
work
We're
with your
good.
team.
We're
All right?
good now. We're good.
Bye,
All
guys.
right.
All right, I'm gonna move down real fast, and then I'll be right back.
So they're doing a drop party after this? Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yep, Satan just messaged me to let the team leaders know that they're going to be getting a drop party after this.
Oh, that's
Probably gonna
good,
bother you
but-
since you're kind of hosting.
No, I don't. I mean,
Aston, there is a stream, but we are just setting up for the next round. It'll be turned back on, kind of in an intermission.
all right, we got 2 minutes here.
User joined your channel. All right, we got 1 minute here. All right, we're getting ready. All right, Kelly, you ready? Here we go. He wasn't able to catch the freeze there. What will happen here?
That was an early rush, and it looks like they don't want to fight them out in the open again this time. The actually move, and there's a splash barrage to the south.
They have missed every freeze so far.
It's funny how freezes work. You could have absolute max gear and splash 16 straight. I mean, we've all seen it with the other streamers and YouTubers. You go out there, you outgear somebody, you're absolutely dominating them, and then you splash, there's another splash. And it looks like they may have caught 8X on the corner there, and there's a two-man. Will they get it? They missed the two-man clump. But they've got the freeze, and now they're fighting a little bit more in the open. Ninten in that doorway is probably not good. He shuts the door. It was a smart move. And it looks like they're trying to take 8X out early, which is the smart play to take your first caller. We noticed last round that Doomsaber had swapped his weapon with somebody else, which is not against the rules, but you could say is a little underhanded. There's some specs going off there, and nobody goes out from those. Keck seeding off the wall, still caught in a clump, and he seeds back. I don't think he's really figured out how those mithril seeds work yet. Doomsaber and Ninten in a clump, but it looks like they're still throwing barrages on there for some reason, and it looks like they switched off last second.
There's a clump right here.
A little bit more chaotic this time.
And
Metalhead Mini Bell on the door. Metal is out. You got to really watch those clumps. 41 on Mini. It looks like they've shifted their focus. Briar's team doing absolutely astounding. And there's another spec. It would have really benefited him to put that void on for that spec, though. He would have lost that 15% accuracy. And there's a second spec. Mini Bell is out. It is looking fantastic for Briar. He is in his element in the open. Another great spear on 8X. His team is falling apart.
Yeah, Mini got speared there into an AGS spec. That was just unfortunate.
Briar did just let us know that they spent the whole morning practicing those spears. And I'm telling you, the Dragon Spear is the key to winning fights in multi. 8X there just really putting the pressure, and then he gets speared off, speared again. There's not much you can do there. It is their senior most members, though, both 8X and Doom still on the map. It's just, I don't know if it'll be enough. 8X caught in the middle, low health. AGS spec, it was a great prey by him. He's tanking absolutely fantastic. But it doesn't seem like they're working too well as a team. Keck is just bolt ragging the south. Looks like Doom's on him. 68, huge KO. Looks like Mr. Ewan, I believe, is now out of the tournament. This is a big fight. It's 1-1. Winner of this gets to go to the finals. Another spear. Those spears always looking great from both teams. Keck 9 on the top just got frozen DD'd. Now it's kind of looking like they don't know where to go either. Everybody's kind of on everybody. They're constantly swapping based on who's tanking. They do need to focus up and stay on one person. And it looks like they accidentally froze one of their own teammates on top of Doom.
And they're coming back. This is a 3v5 and they took out 2 people.
They did. Just starting to get interesting. Who can do it? Oh, big whack from Doomsaber. They have got to get this under control. Looks like Keck 9 was going for a spear and got frozen in place. It was an extremely smart move on their part. Barrages are more utility than they are damage, and they're being used well.
The AGS hit a 0.
0 AGS, off tank, off prayer. It's very unfortunate, but a great spear nonetheless. They are really stopping Keck 9 from using that spear when they can. That looks like that'll be the last to him. Oh, the heart prayer. Can he get the redemption? And Keck goes down with him going for the spear. He was more worried about the spear than watching his health. You always have to watch your health. And it looks like we have a 2v2. Kitten Tanks and Giovanni versus 8X and Doomsaber. Now this is where I think, and a Void Waker coming in, 8X holding on to it this round. That could be the big deciding factor. Doom really trying to put in the damage. It may cause him. Nope, it looks like he gets his prayer up in time. Those bolt procs really propping off. Now, when I was talking to 8X's team earlier, they did take those opal bolts in very last second just
60!
for a case like this. In a 60 spec, he's down. It is now a 2v1. Now a 2v1. Doom's specs have been absolutely huge in this last round. Giovanni's going to have to really pull something together. And it looks like they've both gone off the stream. Now you guys can't see what's going on right now, but it has turned into a small DD fight. Giovanni is going to have to catch the freeze and stay underneath one while fighting the other. It's the only chance he has to win this. It would be curious to find out who has more food, though, 8X or Doom, and it looks like they are doing their best not to get frozen.
You gotta give props to 8X and Doom, and right there, that was...
It was a
very
great
good.
comeback. Absolutely great comeback. And then you guys aren't missing much. It's just back and forth DDs. Giovanni tanking the best that he can, but in a 2v1, there's another spec, and it looks like it hit a 0 off prayer. They are catching lots of blood barrages, though. Blood barrages are absolutely crucial in a moment like this if they're low food. He's just allowing him to heal over and over. He really needs to get his mage gear on and catch a freeze on one of them and turn it into a 1v1. That Venom taking 16s. This looks like it's going to be the end. I really did think the Briar Nintends were gonna take this. They had such a strong start, and just
That's it.
it's crazy how a special attack can change so much. We are going to pull each of the leaders up and give them a chat.
Yo.
8X, how's it going? Actually, we're going to bring Doom up as well.
Sure, man.
8X, Doom, congratulations. It was looking gloom there for a second. You had some really big special attacks. Took that back at the end, and then the two of you at the end working the freeze and the DDs, making sure you didn't get frozen yourself. It was very good. I mean, how did your plan change going into round 3?
Yeah, round 3. That was round 3, right? The last
It
one?
was round 3. You're moving on.
Nice. Wait, what was the question?
Question is what you guys changed up. You guys started a little weak. You had a player
I
down
see.
very quickly.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
then you
definitely.
turned it all around.
It was, yeah, we didn't plan that, but you know what? We had to adapt to the situation. I had to tank when I called my team that they were on me. I'm gonna go full tank. They have to kill at least one guy, so it'll be 1-on-1. But somehow they got off me and I froze one and I ran away around the house. And then I saw someone get a big AGS hit that changed the whole game around. From there on,
Yep.
everything was on us. Because like I said, we had to make them feel the victory for once, right? And then we just have to punish them.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and I mean, to have you and Doom left at the end, you couldn't ask for much better. That very easily could have turned into a freeze DD 1v1.
Exactly.
And you guys really avoided the freezes. You were using blood blitzes to keep your health up. Very tactical moves, and I thought that was really good. So, Doom, we saw you traded your Void Waker off. You guys think that helped?
Honestly, I think so
100%.
because, at first I had the Void Waker and I feel like they were going to focus me. So I think that switching it up to kind of confuse them a little bit might have helped. Also, I mean, my luck on the AGS specs was, it worked out, honestly. I hit a nice 60 for the KO there to take one of them out in a dire situation when we were already down one, kind of getting us back into the game, which helped us out a lot. So I think that AGS switch, honestly, kind of won us that round.
Yeah, it was definitely the turning tide for you guys were those bigger specs, and in communication it seemed better. Like I said, DDing in a multi-fight like that while not hitting each other, it takes a lot of talent. It's really easy to accidentally right-click the wrong person, and send something off like that. So the fact that you were both constantly DDing, constantly maintaining unfroze, constantly in communication, I think that really sealed it for you guys. So congratulations on moving to the finals. I will move you guys both down.
Thank you, brother.
Sounds good.
And then on the finals, yeah.
Oh,
If you look at the stream, I don't know if you can see the stream. They're in the semifinals from the losers bracket. So
semifinals.
whoever-
That's what I meant.
whoever wins this out of this round, Cheza and Satan will go to the finals, and then whoever loses this will fight Adex in the losers.
Yeah, that's what it is. They knew what I meant. Hopefully. Briar, welcome back. You guys, you looked really strong at the start of that third round. What fell apart? Was it just the big specs?
Yeah, I really hammered on the fact that people have to be above 100 HP, but by the sound of my teammate being above 100 HP and still getting stacked out, um, it didn't do much for that instance, no.
It was just
That- that is-
unfortunate Doom had some crazy RNG with that AGS, though, I'm not gonna lie.
At least
Yeah,
it
I mean,
was
we-
good content for people to watch, right? Big hits, get people going. And,
Absolutely.
we
I mean,
will rebuild,
70s,
don't worry.
60s.
Hey, don't be too down because Satan is hosting a massive drop party for everybody. You'll get something.
Well, and
out of it.
honestly, you guys did great, and we are going to have another one of these sometime out, and we're planning, and we look forward to hearing your guys' feedback on how we can make it better. Kitten Tanks, you there?
I'm here.
I tell you, massively impressed watching you tank 3, 4, 5 guys at a time and not going out. I would argue that was vital to your team, even in some of the other fights. Your just ability to stay alive. I mean, you live into the name, right?
That's part of it. All that, can't protect against the 60 AGS to the forehead at the end there.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about RNG, no matter how good you are. So, how do you feel you guys did this whole tournament?
Oh, very good. We were definitely the underdogs for most of it. Until the end, we got a bit of gear, but couldn't quite pull it together.
Yeah, no, I think you guys did really great. I actually did think you guys were going to take that last round. It is unfortunate that you guys lost 2 people to big specs, but it looked great. Congratulations on your all's progress in the tournament, and hopefully we'll see you all for the next one.
Of course, and good luck to the ADEX team. Wish them best in their next fight.
All right, guys, we'll catch you later.
Alright, we got 1 minute here until we start the. Join their friendship. I think theirs is I think they're in Nimton, NIMT, and you can collect their gold.
Yeah, they got me part of it so far. No, they're not in N10.
No, NIM, the NIM one, NIMT.
Gotcha, N10. Too
Alright,
many of them.
we're about to get started here. Wait, hold. Are you ready?
Ready to go? And it looks like we're off. We've got the Satan Guppies versus the Sheza Dominators this round. We'll see if any strategies changed. We saw Sheza's team just absolutely dominant in his prelim, and we'll see if they can keep that pace up with Satan. It looks like we're off. We've got big barrages everywhere and a clump to start off the fight. Not a great place to be. Satan utilizing those seeds to get away. Everybody's very spread out, which is a good thing, but at the same time, Eats has got to be careful walking on that red line. If he steps into it, it's a disqualification. And now Satan's right on top of him. Now, I believe the rules state that we aren't allowed to spear people into the red zone.
That's right.
It looks like that's what they're trying to set up. Hopefully they realize that that's not a thing. The fight's going fairly even, and small piles looks like they're on Satan and Shrek, but nothing substantial happening yet. Got a little bit of a fight down to the bottom left, but it seems like most of what's going on is on Shrek 2. It seems to be their primary focus. And at the request of Con RS, Yuki has changed her music up. Oh, Satan tanking an AGS, that could have ended, and that was a very big chance, and it looks like they're switching back to Shrek 2. Now, I'm surprised we haven't seen any big spears. Shez taking a 23 off prayer by a bolt. Shrek 2 just hanging in there, allowing the rest of the team to fight to the bottom left. The teams are very divided right now. Shrek 2 just really eating up the time, and he's down with a 53 spec. The Shezes are up 1 now, I believe. It looks like they're going to find their next target. A lot of movement in this one, a lot more movement than you would typically see scattered. Normally in multi-fights, you see people press together or pull all to one side. It seems like the players are a little bit of everywhere. And it looks like Shez, and he gets his prayer on in time and triple eats out of it. Looking good, at least a double eat. Prayers are kind of going default. You see a lot of people getting hit off prayer right now. They need to focus a little bit more on that. And Satan low HP again. Still low HP. It's looking like he might be only on Bruise. Zella takes a 56 from something. Must have been a bolt. Oh, it's for Heal Other spell. That's right. I keep forgetting Zella is using Heal Other. Satan's prayer down. Barely staying alive. He's back to full health. Those Heal Others are really coming in clutch from their tanks. It's quite an interesting strategy to keep them alive. After we saw this in the last round, you think Shez and them would have focused taking their tanks out. Zella traditionally always uses strange tactics. You can see she has a Debo there. She is absolutely one of the best assets to the Moonclan PvP. And Satan's still tanking. They're doing their best to try to get him out of there, and it seems like the Satan tanks are doing their best to keep him alive. And that looks like it is it for Satan. Satan is out. Let's see if they can hold together without him. 2 of their players don't use mics traditionally, which leaves only 1 person to call for them. And it looks like the fight is moving a little bit. And a Devo spec from Zella pops an 8-8 on one of the Shezas. Looks like they've got somebody frozen in the center. And they're spinning a lot of focus on them. They're going to really have to start controlling the fight a little bit more. It doesn't seem like many people are staying frozen. You know, you got to take people like Lumbridge and keep him frozen because he'll put a lot of damage in a little bit of time. You can't ignore him. I watched one of the Shezas just tank 5 Fang hits off prayer. Luckily, all 5 hit a 0, which is insane for a Fang. And it looks like they've got Lumbridge controlled now. Sheza's team seems a little scattered this time. They're not as focused on an individual. And we see a Smite coming up, which is awfully arrogant in a multi-fight. And it looks like Lumbridge might be the current objective. No, they've already moved off. And we are off screen. And it looks like we're catching back up. Now we can't see who they're hitting, but it looks like 2 of the Shezas are on somebody. And it looks like they're all just playing just on the outsides, making it really hard to keep in the stream focused. And now we're back. And it looks like Lumbridge is the focus right now. And the Shezas are trying to get him out. It actually looks like Lumbridge may be the last one. In that short time off screen, they managed to kill 2 other players. Unless they ran off screen to hide. And this looks like it'll be another dominant win for the Sheza Beans. All 5 players still on the board. In the first round, the Sheza Beans. 5 full players left on the map. Another dominant win. We'll bring Sheza in. See what he has to say. Shez, another absolutely dominant win.
Yeah, I think they had a bit of a plan to go for me, which I was expecting, so I was prepared for that. And yeah, we've got 5 callers in the call that can happily take over, so yeah, it works well.
You know, I would say you picked your team really well. You have a lot of experience across the board, and it's clearly showing. And at first there, you guys for a little bit seemed a little disorganized. You're all kind of on different people. You weren't focusing, and then we got off screen. because the fight moved so much. We come back and 3 people were missing. You had them dead. It's in a very short amount of time. It's very impressive. So same strategy as before.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we tend to stick with our ways. Obviously, my whole team have got a lot of PvP experience, so they know what they're doing, and yeah, handled it well.
Yeah, absolutely. You have had the entire Twitch stream behind you guys saying you guys are winning, and it's looking really good. So you are the fan favorite, and we're excited to see how you do next round.
Yeah, us too. It should be good fun.
Yeah, good luck. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
We're gonna borrow you real fast. So Satan, you were kind of the focus there at the start, and things fell apart when you left. Did you guys have a plan that maybe just didn't come together?
We were just kind of vibing there, just enjoying a team actually fighting us.
Yeah, they definitely came straight for it. That's for sure. Have you guys started to make some adjustments to get ready for the next round?
We're already ready, I'm pretty sure, other than just grabbing stuff. We're sticking with what we got.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to hear that you guys got your game plan, and we wish you guys luck, and we'll see you after the round. Hopefully, we'll go to round 3.
TY.
Good luck. So you heard it, both the leaders, the Sheza Beans and the Satan Demons. It was a very aggressive upfront fight for those teams, and Shez just his whole team has been fantastic the whole time. They're well coordinated, and like he said, they've got all 5 of them are PvP callers traditionally. His team was very well picked, and I believe they're all European, so they actually understand each other's accents, which has got to be an absolute massive plus in a team like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, this the round right here. So if Satan's team can't pull it out here, I mean, unfortunately they're just gonna get knocked out here. I mean, like I said at the beginning of the stream, the Sheds of Beans have been dominating all week, and they're doing it here at the tournament as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely the team to beat, and it'll be really curious going into future tournaments how other team leaders try to pick up those players. At the very start, when you looked at their team, it didn't look anything special during the draft. But the more and more we went on throughout the week in the tournament, it became very obvious that Sheza knew what he was doing with the people he picked. LRG, Lowry, Tate, Tyr, they're all great PKers and all very well experienced. It just seemed like such a ragtag group at first. They're picking them because they're English or whatever, and then it just turned out to be the best team by a very long shot, and they've shown tremendous strides over really strong teams. ADEX had a phenomenal team. Satan's team was full of great, very high-end hybrids. Maybe not multi-peers, but good hybrids and tanks. And the team for Vryer was well-rounded, both PVM-wise and PK. They could do both, but to just see one team come out so dominant has been a great time to watch.
Alright, 1 minute from start here. Alright, we're about to get started.
See if this goes to round 3 or if we have our teams for the semifinals.
And we've begun.
They're off, and Sheza moving fairly quick, one of them to the center there. And it looks like Satan's team is holding behind the walls again. See if they'll take this back out into the open, or if they're going to try to fight it a little more strategically back in those ruins. Satan's team is going to have to play a little more conservatively. You know, this is it for them. If they take the shot, they are out. And it looks like we're off. Shrek 2 with an early high vengeance. The fight on the north side. It looks like he's just going to take the brunt of the Shezas. They're playing very smart, going back and forth between those walls with Zella and Eats at the bottom. Looks like they're trying to just take a couple people where they can. They've just got to stop the damage. Looks like it's going to be a real back and forth, that's for sure. And Sheza's team pulling back a little bit. You know, normally I would say the Arceus Spellbook is a good use, but in a small tournament like this, I feel like there may have been a better use than a small Prayer Drain. You know, that spell is good for things like macing and in 1v1s, but when you get into things like this, you're not smiting, and you really do need smite to stack with the Arceus Spellbook to be hyper effective. There we go. Looks like we're fighting half in and half out of the ruins. The Sheza sent some AGS specs that went absolutely nowhere, unfortunately. It looks like we saw a couple spears there. We have a Sheza in deep territory taking a tank, and he pulls out. You know, Sheza's team has done a really good job of pushing in when they need to push in and pulling back when they're taking tank. We have another spear there, and it looks like one of the Shezas is about to go down.
Oh, they take him out!
And there he goes, 35, 36, 12.
That's Tate.
Yeah, we've lost Tate. And it looks like Lumbridge is taking a tank on the north side for some specs, and they switch targets. It is an absolute bloodbath, and there it goes. It is even games again. Satan is out, which leaves Lumbridge and Shrek 2, and I believe Zella left. And then we'll see where it goes from here. They're on Lumbridge now. It looks like he went in for a spear and maybe missed it or called it back. Lumbridge taking lots of damage. It looks like Sheza threw a barrage on his own teammate, but it didn't matter. The freeze is up. Zella on the outside is trying to do some damage, but it's so hard for them not having freezes. It could have been such a good play. I think it may have been more important, though, to be able to control the teammates than having those venges and heal others. And it looks like one of the Shez is tanking in the center now. They've got Lumbridge from the south, and he's back in the fight. Looks like two tanks. Shrek almost went down. Shez in the middle, taking a lot of damage. We're trying to get some extra heals off those blood blitzes. Shrek with a 37 barely lives it. He's sipping on brews. It looks like he may be the next to go out. Those barrages are going. Oh, and back to full health. Zella heals him. Those heal others have really come in great use for keeping certain members alive. It's so unpredictable, and Shrek is still just absolutely tanking. So he's trying to get a spear free. Shrek 2 is down. Shez's team is now in the lead for the fight. Big Venge other for Lumbridge. Pops that 33 back damage recoiled, and he's down low food, and he's back to full health. Zella keeps him alive again. Zella is the driving factor of keeping these guys on the field. Multiple times they should have died. She brings him back from red bar. Somebody has got to have to take control of that. And then Lumbridge is now tanking. Zella's been absolutely crucial to that team, and it may take them to the third round if she keeps it up. One Shez partially out of the fight now, can't hit Lumbridge. And then we see those blood blitzes coming from the outside. Looks like they're trying to freeze whoever that is to contain them. And then the freeze breaks, he pulls back. Lumbridge taking a lot of damage up in that corner there. And then Zella again with the heal other, keeping him in the fight. How many more times she can do that before she's out of food? We're going to have to figure that out. Zella's sitting at 3/4 health, Lumbridge at 3/4 health. Seems like Sheza's team can't catch a freeze right now. A lot of splashes. There it is, and she's controlled. Another big tank in the middle by one of Sheza's teammates. Lumbridge taking a lot of damage. Devo spec from Zella. goes nowhere with the range prey. Looks like this might be it from Lumbridge, and Lumbridge misses the redemption and he's out. Six fights move off the screen. Zella's froze. Looks like she may be the next target for this 0 off prayer. Zella tanks as usual. Got the whole crowd cheering for Zella right now, which is gotta feel good for her. Coming in here, she is definitely a great asset to the team, but not the biggest when it comes to hybriding, but really showing her worth this week, both on and off the PvP circuit. Looks like we're back off Zella. Zella just dealing additional damage right into the center there on the Shez's team. Get a readjustment here for you. There we go. We're back. Just Zella and Mundane left. We'll see where this goes. And little AGS, Eats tanks it, and looks like Eats is going down. Eats is out, and it is just Zella left on the map, doing her best. Debo off prayer, 8-8. Unfortunate. The accuracy of the Debo just isn't there when somebody's in tank armor. Flicking her prayers, looks like she's going to hold out. She did her team proud today. You know, Zella is absolutely the MVP of the Satan Demons. I just, no way the Satan Demons would have made it that long without her. She was just keeping their key members alive. She was tanking everything thrown at them. But with that said, 2 down, that was the most damage we've seen the Sheza Beans take, but they moved to the semifinals. Well, congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. That one was a little bit more difficult. You know, a lot of the key players on the Satan Demons were kept alive solely by Zella's Heal Other. How'd you guys handle that?
Yeah, so we kind of thought that if she's healing other and we're focusing other people, she's technically taking the damage herself. So coming towards the end, she's not going to have as much food. So it was always a plan to leave Zila as long as we can, unless we could catch her healing somebody and getting a nice bolt or fanging on the.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a couple specs on her when she was about sub 30 health, and unfortunately she either got the prayer up or they just hit zeros, which is unfortunate. But multiple times you had red barred either Satan or Lumbridge, and then all of a sudden they're back to full health when they're only a bruise. It was quite the strategy, but you guys held true. That was also the most people you lost in a fight. You lost to that round, unfortunately. Do you have anything to say to that?
Yeah, Costa and Jamie, I think it was that both died. I think Costa got speared and... Not Costa, sorry, Lexi. Lexi got speared and KO'd, so that were unfortunate. And then obviously they had a nice pile on Jamie, but other than that, we stuck with our calls, and yeah, I thought we did all right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you guys did absolutely fantastic there. And you still seem to be the favorites for winning this whole thing. So I'll let you get back to your team, get your strategy together for the next fight.
Yeah, well, we fought Adex first, and it were a good fight. So we're hoping to go again, same again.
Absolutely. We'll catch you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bro, I need to take a piss.
Well, you can take a piss here in about 3 minutes. So, hey man, we just want to catch you real fast. You guys did great. You guys did the most damage anybody has done to Sheza's team yet. You took out 2 of their members that time. And did you guys plan for Zella to just absolutely keep you and Lumbridge alive? I mean, her heals were fantastic. She was absolutely the MVP of your guys' team.
Yeah, another issue I'm running into is I don't think we should have been allowed to name change.
Name changing, yeah, we had talked about that in earlier fights with Ryer, how in that old school fashion of name changing, it does cause a lot of confusion on the field.
Yeah, but some of us have names that are either too expensive to change or too sentimental to us to even risk the 2-week change on, so.
Yeah, and we could talk about that going to next tournaments. I think there are pros and cons of both, right? You do sacrifice a little bit of that on-field advantage to keep your name, but at the same time, we'll figure that out in the semantics. But you guys did really great. You really looked like you were going to take that round there for a minute. Zella
'Cause
absolutely keeping
it's
everybody
fair
alive.
to us PKers, but it's not fair to everyone else who has no multi
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is something we'll consider as we go into the next tournament. But I will let you make your way to the things you need to do. We are at the Grand Exchange for Coin Chain over on Color Me. Just when you guys get over, that'd be great.
No, they're
And
not. They're not.
you know,
They're not out.
they're not out.
Nope.
Wasn't it
No, I was gonna say we're
semifinals?
about to fight again, and that's why I need like a couple minutes.
Ah, well then
I
go,
need
go.
to piss. Yeah,
Absolutely. I'll move
need
you
to
back down
piss
for you.
and get a drink, Ty. And yeah, no, that was a good fight. That was our best fight so far.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
I'm
fantastic.
glad we actually got a fight.
Yep, absolutely. So good luck.
Ty, give us.
Yep. Give him 5. Oh, that's right. There is a double losers bracket. I forgot about that. The Satan Demons and the AX Warriors. You know, if I would have just looked to my right, I would have seen that. Hey, Viking, welcome back to the stream, or welcome into the stream. It's a good time to come in. Things have heated up. Things have gotten more aggression. We had a slow start, and it's really taken off now.
And so far, this has been going pretty good. I mean, I guess, like I said, Chez's team, I had a feeling coming into this was going to do very well just from how they've been performing and them having the 2 extra brews and 2 extra anglers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's such a strong team. But that was the first time we've seen anybody on that team go down, and it was not only 1 but 2. You know, they played that spear very well. Just unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize it. You know, going into this next round, we have the NX Warriors and the Satan Demons both on the back burner. This is it for them. Whoever loses this is they're done, right?
Yes, whoever loses this one is out.
So this is a lot on the line. Like we said, for those of you who are just tuning in, this pot has gone from 0 GP to over 900 mil, which is a massive winnings for the final team for just a week of playtime. We saw some really big RNG this week, both on PVMing and PvP. There was a team that received 2 eyes from the new boss. For some reason, I can't think of what it is. From Doom, which is huge. That was an absolute big gain for them. Without those 2 eyes, their team would have been, I believe, sub 60 mil going into the finals, and that gear advantage would have been so low. You know, we saw the Satan Demons get that 1,000 key kill up at the ship. You know, that was 170 mil. That really set them up. They didn't have to really play as much as everybody else the rest of the week. You know, we saw Lowry's team just grind in PK and absolutely dominate every breach we had. If you guys haven't been following along, I'd highly recommend go back and watch the highlight videos that Yuki has posted. The breaches were big, where she put money into a key, gear into a key, and the teams fought it out both in singles and multi to take those over. You know, and then we saw Ryer's group just absolutely touch on everything to get where they needed to be. It has been really great. And I would absolutely love to see in our next tournament to see more of those PVMers, because people like Minnie really put her team on the map at the beginning, just being such a versatile player outside of the wilderness, and then having her team there to protect her, and then even herself fighting back as she went. You know, it's been an absolutely fantastic week. And I would almost argue the way this has gone, minus a couple hiccups, I would say this was much better than the Jagex put on tournament most recently. Predictions from my end. I've been watching this all week. I really think the Sheza Beans have a strong advantage to winning this. But anything could change. Sheza's team has just been so strong throughout the week, and then today. But they're going to go into the finals against either 8X or Satan, and anything could happen. So it would be very interesting to see maybe the Satan Demons versus the Sheza Beans round 2. Or either way, it's a round 2, right? They're either fighting 8X and going to fight Satan again. Somebody's going to have to make a change to counter that, because so far they've just been so dominant, so dominant. Once again, though, for those of you who are new, make sure you follow this Twitch channel. This Twitch channel is the official events channel for the tournaments we host here in Moonclan, or at least Moonclan PvP. Mostly things Yuki will put on. We do have a Darok tournament that'll be coming up in a couple months. We'll have a couple different tournaments coming up as intermissions between these big All-Stars. These big All-Stars, they take months of planning and a tremendous amount of behind-the-scenes work, so we can't do them that often. But in between, we will host different kinds of things. The next one being the Darok tournament. If that's something you're interested in, please feel free to message me on Discord at ColorMe or message Yukifa to get the details when that's ready. So Satan brought up the name change, and we had talked earlier about how name changing is historically part of multi-way combat and team combat. It's very, very much rooted ever since name changes were allowed in RuneScape, that you would change your name to something confusing, where we would all have matching names, or just different names so people couldn't find our callers. Or we would change our names to reflect other clans so people thought we were people we weren't. And while I do understand where Satan was coming from a personal view, I think the name changes were brilliant. Because some of us do have desired names and less desired names. But you do get 30 days to change your name back to that before it becomes available to anybody else. And I'm a big supporter of that. It would be really curious to see how people tuning in feel about that, and other PKers, and that's probably something we'll talk to when we talk to the teams after the tournament. But I thought it was such a great move by both Friar's team and Sheza's team to just get that advantage against the callers. How do you feel about the whole thing, Yuki?
I don't have any really feeling about it.
No? Not one way or another? Would you let it, if you hosted the tournament again in the future, would you let it happen again?
I'm all for what the masses want, because I don't want to appease just one or two people, you know what I mean? Because then you have 80% of the people pissed off at you.
I agree. Like I said, it's so deep rooted in PvP that I think the name changes are a great idea. I do understand, but as long as you change your name back in 30 days, you get to keep your name, you don't lose it. Gosh, I've changed ColorMe about 1,000 times over the history of the account. Yeah, absolutely. And I get what you're saying. Maybe it's a little, and we've had this conversation all week. Is something against the rules, or is it just in poor spirit? And that's something that the refs and Yuki have had to make decisions on all week. Somebody does something that's not written in the rules, but maybe it's a little deceptive or underhanded and against the spirit. But when do we start to penalize? And that's where a lot of this comes into play too. And I think we're gonna have some good revisions. But it looks like we are starting the next round of the loser bracket, the Satan Demons versus the 8X Warriors. And it looks like they took to the north very quickly just to come over and find nobody there. Yeah, absolutely, Jeremy. But like we said, you do get 30 days to get that name back. Within 30 days of your name change, nobody can take, for say, Satan. So as long as they rechanged their name, they were fine. Yeah, LRG did change his name, actually. And we are now wide out in the open. And Lumbridge is already down and out for the Satan Demons. Unexpected right out the gate. And it looks like Satan is just taking the middle. It looks like they're going to take the L. Not even fighting back. What an interesting turn of events. Not entirely sure what happened on the board there. Zella taking to the north, it looks like. And it looks like we're going to stop the... I'm not sure if we're going to stop the fight or not. This is going to be up to Yuki on what's happening here. But it seems like there was some confusion at the start of what was happening. It looks like maybe one of the teams didn't see the go-ahead, or there wasn't a go-ahead. We're not quite sure. We're trying to figure that out right now. And it looks like Yuki has called for a reset.
I did say it. Look.
Yeah, so it does look like Yuki did give the go and the other team didn't see it. We are reviewing the chat history, so we're not sure why they missed that or not. But Yuki has called for a reset, despite the fact that there was a 1-minute warning giving and the go-ahead. Now that is an interesting controversy coming right out the gate, because the go was given. But we are going to resupply both sides and give this another start. Yeah, and even Sheza out here advocating for the restart. It's great sportsmanship, and I gotta say, other than a couple quips here and there throughout the week because things got so competitive, there has been pretty good sportsmanship about this. People have been pretty respectful outside of banter and minor disagreements, and when judgment by refs and Yuki have been given, everybody's been very respectful of it. So I can say that has been an awesome thing to see in our community. Yeah, absolutely. The daily recaps were fantastic. It was really nice to see, especially for those of us who work or in different time zones. You didn't have to miss out on the tournament. You didn't have to worry about constantly watching. That was a fantastic thing. And for any of you that were actually in the Moonclan RS Twitch before it started, Yuki spent all night putting up a real video of all the recaps from the entire week. So you kind of got to see what was going on right before this final fight. It was a really fantastic thing. And I had been talking to quite a few people about it during the week, and maybe next time it'd be great if we could get interviews from team leaders throughout the week to also go into those recaps, or as a separate video would be pretty neat, or bring them on Twitch Live and talk to them.
I'm also here as well. We're 1 minute away. Alright, now every team's in place, so we're getting started here in a second. Alright, you ready?
Looks like we got everybody lined up. And the fight starts. Same moves as last time. It looks like 8X's team goes north, and this time Satan's team is on the move. And it looks like there might be a clump right on that top side if they're not careful. It's a really tight spot to be in. Metalhead around the corner catches the freeze, and they're pushing into the Satan Demons. So we have a massive clump right in the center there, and they're barraging their own teammates, but it looked like it might be a 2-2 split. Got a Keck 9 and Lumbridge fighting on the wall. A little interesting to see.
Doomsaber
And
died.
Doomsaber goes down early, and then we have some spears to get people out of the break. The barrage breaks. Shrek 2 on the north side, and it looks like we're dropping spears. Oh, big hits. Unfortunately, they missed the spear. Definitely a lot of chaos going on. A lot of targets and a lot of damage all at once. Lumbridge smiting to the top right. Keck 9 on Satan. Zella seeding away. Shrek 2 frozen to the left. It's a little bit of everything going on. It looks like Zella brings herself back into play. She may have blocked herself there for a second. It looks like we may lose somebody. And they tank, even through the spear. You know, there's been a lot of utilization of blood bullets in this tournament, which isn't something you usually see. And I think it's been a huge factor with the food limitations. Ooh, big spec from Lumbridge in his Fang, a 46. And Metal is down. It was a great tank, and he tried, but he just wasn't there. We're seeing a lot of smites coming from Lumbridge. Not sure if that's going to play to or against his advantage in the long run. Satan is down and out. And then it looks like Keck 9 tanking on the top. Minibell in the back throwing bolts. Zella throwing bolts. And there's the heal other from Zella again. Keeping Lumbridge health up. Man, Keck is just really hanging in there. But it doesn't look like there's much more. Zella with the spear once again. Crucial as always. Stacking up, though, unfortunately, she speared him underneath Lumbridge, and Lumbridge can't deal damage anymore. Keck 9 is out. And this one's looking really good for the Satan Demons. Lumbridge froze to the north, Mini tanking to the southwest. And Zella just throwing bolts. Zella and Shrek and their tank with their bolts has been pretty good for annoying damage. I'm not sure overall how much that damage has appealed to actually winning the fight. Looks like 8X still may be in the fight as well. We'll see how they have to pull this off. They're really going to have to keep them separated inside those ruins. Zell and Shrek just not getting off Minibell. She's doing the best it looks like she can to tank and keep them distracted. Just 2v1 on both fronts. And it looks like she's back north. Now I imagine 8X is just having her keep some of the damage away from him, but I'm not sure there's much he can do on his own. And then we're back to the center once again. Zella just not laying up off Minibell. 8X doing the best that he can to tank, but while he's tanking, there's no damage he can get out. Mini is really going to have to come in and do something here. Looks like they're turning to Zella. Zella, I'm not sure they're the best person to jump for first. She's a fantastic tank. I'm sure she has lots of food on her left still, and it looks like they may get her. She's smiting. Mini getting speared. Dragon Dagger's going in 0-0. Fang with a 29. It's really interesting how this is going. You think would have already been over with such a huge advantage, but it looks like Minibell may go down next. Some dagger pokes from Shrek. Minibell is out. It is just 8X left. And there's the freeze. He got a big pile if he can capitalize. Now, if these players had Blood Barrage, that would have been great there, but it looks like he broke the barrage running away. Tanking inside. Ooh, he gets a redemption, but this looks like it will be that for 8X's team in this round. And he turns around. 37 on the Vengeance. They go down. An absolutely great performance by the Satan Demons, even after their leader falls early in the fight. We're gonna bring Satan back for a comment, and we'll bring Lumbridge up as well.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Lumbridge, Satan, you guys have done absolutely well that first round. Lumbridge dealing a lot of outside damage, and even after Satan going down, it seems like you guys held it together. Is there anything you guys did different that time?
Yeah, I had Coombs' stream open the whole time, so as soon as I died, I just picked right up calling. Coombs ate one piece of hard food, 2 sips of brew, 1 sip of restore, and was literally completely full.
Yeah, you guys seem to have really came out strong. Your focuses, although a little scattered at the beginning, came in towards the end. Were you guys trying to spend more time 1v1ing, or were you trying to spend more focusing?
More focus.
Yeah, absolutely. Great guys.
More tism, more focus. And then at the end,
absolutely.
it was just picking off priority targets.
Fantastic. And once again, Zella keeping you guys alive. Lumbridge dealing tremendous amounts of damage throughout the entire fight. It just seemed much more organized than the last few.
Oh yeah, we were cooking that time on voice for sure. Even Lum picked up the voice comms for a sec while I went over from like death to Coombs' stream.
Absolutely. Well,
Overcalled
good job, guys.
me a couple times too. It was beautiful.
Fantastic. Well, I'm gonna move you guys back down. Good luck in the next round.
TY. I think
You got them reset.
Yeah, they're working on it. You can pull 8x in if you want. You have time.
Yep, that's what I was gonna do.
Hello?
8x Metal, guys, how's it going? Not a strong round for you guys. What fell apart?
The DCME did play the big part right there. Took out one of my guy. So we have to adapt with the calls and see if we could take out Satan, which we did. And after that, it was just all over the place.
Yeah,
So,
Metal, you got taken out pretty early there with a big spec. What happened? Were you the one who got descend? I must have missed it.
It's Doom. It was Doom that got descend.
Doom got.
I got descend as well.
Yeah, it's such a hard thing to counter. You guys, are you going to make any changes going into this next round, or stick to your plan?
Yeah, bro. Just make them feel confident. Then they're gonna kneel afterwards. So that's all.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck, and Metal, your boyfriend Jeremy is watching from the crowd. He's cheering for you. I saw he painted your name on his chest, and he's looking forward to taking you to dinner. He said he got you guys a hotel room, whether you win or lose. He loves you regardless.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Alrighty, guys, I'm going to move you back down, and good luck.
All right.
Yeah, 8x's team definitely has to figure out something here, because if they lose here, they're out.
No, absolutely. So, and I've reached out to a couple people from the other teams to see if they'd like to come in and give their perspective. So,
Yeah,
we make it.
We got 4 minutes if you want to bring one in.
Yeah, I'm actually messaging Mr. Ewan right now. Ewan signed up from main Moonclan with more of a PVM background, and I was actually really excited. So, Mr. Ewan doesn't realize, but I have an account in there, and I talk to him on there all the time. I'm a big fan of him, and I was really excited to see him jump into this tournament, maybe get out of his comfort zone a little bit. Ewan, welcome to the group, man. You did really good. This is your first PvP tournament?
Yeah, it is.
Fantastic. Yeah, I talk to you all the time in the main Moonclan from my alt pillow hands, and when you jumped in and got out of your comfort zone, I was really excited to see how you and you seemed to do great. You did really good in the beginning, helping your team to get up. You stayed positive the whole time. How was your experience?
I mean, my first real experience with PvP. I've literally never done it before. I've always avoided the wilderness. It was good. It was really engaging, to be honest.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Do you think this might be something you would do again?
Yeah, I said to Yuki last night, I was like, I'll definitely be signing up for another one, and also, telling the rest of the clan to tag along.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, you've just been so positive and just so driven in it, which is hard because the PvP community can be intimidating, and we're seen as toxic a lot. So for you to come in and just give such a positive experience on that, it does mean a lot to us. And if you'd ever like to do a little bit of multi-king, you're always welcome to come out with us. I'll pull you in, teach you whatever you want. And we have a big Darok tournament coming up, and I would love to see you at it.
I will probably partake.
Fantastic. And, I'm out coaching, so if you need anything, please feel free to message me, and we can go through the ropes. Do you think there's anything you would change if you go into the next tournament about how you played?
I mean, going into this one, because my lack of PvP experience, that's why, especially the first 2 days, I was so focused on grinding money for the team. Just because I wanted to, pull my weight. But, I mean, going in again, another team event like this, it's just sort of, strategizing with your team and going from there, really.
Yeah, absolutely agree. So we are within 30 seconds of starting. I'm going to move you out here, but thank you for your perspective, and I look forward to seeing you at the drop party after the tournament.
I will see you there. Good luck to the rest of them.
You as well. Thank you. Alrighty, guys, we're getting ready to start the next round. Seems like we've got everybody lined up, and we're ready to go. Is Mr. Ewan a budget skill specs? He may be our skill specs. I wouldn't mind having somebody like that. Maybe he is skill specs in disguise. Alrighty, guys, and it looks like we're off. Satan's team moving around the backside of the building straight into the lightning bolt. Be really interesting to see how this plays out. Adex's team out in the open, trying to pull them out. This will be really interesting. With Satan's teams hiding in those buildings and in that alley, it makes them much harder to get big clumps on. But it looks like they're going in hard with spears and specs right out the gate. It looks like Doomsaber may go down early. He barely tanks it, and it looks like Doomsaber is out. That clump is so bad. It looks like Lumbridge tanking in the middle right now. 2 piles going. Very bad. Minibell on the backside, kind of hesitating, not knowing where to go, and if communications are bad inside there right now. Oh, and there they go. Satan's team loses somebody. Adex, though, getting speared, barely lives. Lumbridge taking a little bit of damage in the alleyway. He pulls back to regroup. Looks like Zella's right in the mix. They're letting her go, though. Metalhead tanking well. Sitting there, but Lumbridge right there. Looks like we may have a little bit of pile. Another Voidwaker spec from Adex. Lumbridge getting speared. Those D-Simmies are doing a lot of work right now, but it looks like they're still going. Satan spears Metal. They're really trying to get him. I'm not sure that AGS on Lumbridge on Prayer was the best idea. Metal in deep. Looks like they're gunning to get him out early. Another 43 tanking well. 31. This may be it for him. Rough fight, but looks like the Satan Demons are pulling their weight this time around. Much more serious than the Satan Demons we saw earlier in the tournament. Looks like they're fighting hard to get to the end. Oof, big tanks, and it looks like we're kind of at a stalemate now until they do it. They're playing a little bit more conservative with Eats in the back. Jeremy's saying bad AGS. Metal looks like he's not getting lucky tonight. And it looks like they're trying to pull them more back into the open. Satan Demon's playing very, very conservatively in the backboard. Looks like a lot of focus on Lumbridge would probably be their best bet to get him out. And Lumbridge goes down. The fight turns back. It's anybody's game. Keck 9 taking a lot of damage midfield. Metal chasing somebody to the south. And another spear from Zella to the north. Satan taking damage from Adex. Minibell on the backside casting spells. Satan taking lots and lots of damage. Look at Mini keeping everybody alive. Point away. 44 Voidwaker from Adex. Satan tanking extremely well right now. And it looks like we're putting a little bit of damage backwards. This is anybody's game. Metal looks like he's keeping Eats clean out of the fight, keeping Satan's team at a disadvantage in the middle top. And then Satan goes inside to look for a tank. Now they're bottlenecked inside. It looks like we're going to get a little bit of a clump, and the door shut. 2v2 on the inside, 2 on the outside. Minibell standing, maybe a little confused, maybe disconnected. I'm not sure what's going on there. But she's not attacking or anything. She's just allowing her team to take damage. It looks like Mini is now back in the fight, 21 Bolt. The fight inside looks like we're going to get an AGS whack, 22. There's the spear by Keck 9. Big clump right there. There's a huge barrage clump. Oh, nope, and it broke. They've got to stay spread, Keck 9 and Mini. Satan's team's just going to get all sorts of free damage. Metal on the inside looks like Satan's taking a lot of damage. This may be it for him. The whack barely. Minibell goes out with the D-Sim slash, and then it looks like Satan's taking the brunt of it. Will this be the end for Satan? No, he tanks his way out of it again. We have a 3v3. Barrage Clump on Metal and Keck, though, this is multiple times now Adex's team has gotten caught in these choke points. It's been a reoccurring theme. Satan's done really well to utilize them. And it looks like we have 2 inside, 2 out. Satan's still taking a ton of damage. Anybody's game at this point. Metal once again taking the brunt of it. Satan goes down with a Sunny 21 barrage. Looks like we have Lumbridge and Zella left. Can they pull it off? Lots of bolts, lots going on. Looks like they're focusing their attentions towards Zella and just ignoring... Oh, it's Eats. I apologize. Realized Lumbridge went out. Eats in the background catching barrages. Not sure what they're going to do here at this point. You know, they're at a big disadvantage without Zella having freezes and rag bolting and tank. Eats has been on the outside of this tournament the entire time. But he is going to take the brunt of those bolts, and he's not swapping into tank. Zella assisting with a vengeance to try to get some of the heat off of him, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He tanks to the inside. It would probably be best bet for them to try to pull them into a barrage clump and catch them, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be the case without their callers there to take over. Looks like this might be the end for Zella. Zella with a redemption, see if she can get it off. Great flicks on her part, though. 1v1 on the outside, 2v1 on the inside. Looks like the Satan Demons lose Zella, and it is all up to Eats to fight off 3. Adex Metalhead and Keck 9 still in. Metal and Adex being seasoned multi-PKers. Keck experienced himself. This looks like it may be the end for the Satan Demons. This may have been arguably the best fight we've seen yet. I mean, they went down 1 by 1. Eats is done, and it looks like the Satan Demons are knocked for this round. I believe that's 1-1, correct? We're going into the third round, Yuki?
That is.
That was an absolutely phenomenal fight. Like I said, I think that may have been the best fight we've had yet. What a fantastic tournament this has turned out to be. You know, every team has improved as they've kept fighting. So while Shiz has been dominant, their team is kind of sitting on the sidelines getting iced while the rest of these teams are developing new strategies and ways that they can refine their team. You know, we did see lots of multi-fights this week, but I don't think we saw any that would kind of mimic what we're doing here. So it is great to get that extra experience on hand.
Alright, we got 4 minutes here. Alright, this is the big match. You know the nerves have to be getting to him now because at this point both of them are in danger to be knocked out here.
An absolute fantastic tournament so far.
Did you hear what I said? That this round right here is it. Like I'm sure the nerves are getting to him now because like either team, if they lose here, that's it for him.
All right, 900 mil on the line, a whole week of just absolute grinding. You know, all the ups, all the downs, and everything in between. It's coming down to this for both teams. And you know, once again, you know, like when we had Briar and Satan earlier, 8X is a long-standing staple in the Moonclan PvP. So there's a lot on the line to take out your leader and his team, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you guys have joined us today and you are not in a clan, if you're looking to get into PVM or any kind of social clan, the main Moonclan is a great option. And if you're looking to get more into PvP and you'd like a PvP clan, if you message myself, Color Me, I can put you in contact with what you can do to potentially look into joining, learning how to multi and single PK. We love having you guys at these events, and we'd love to have you involved in them as well.
Alright, we're 1 minute away.
I appreciate you. I enjoy commentating tournaments, so hopefully we get more and more to do them.
Yeah, Chineko was supposed to be here with us, but he had some stuff in real life he had to take care of.
Oh, I closed my store for this. The sign is flipped right now. I'm sitting at work on my work computer. Wasn't going to miss this.
Alright, here we go.
Alrighty, guys, we're geared up, and we are ready to go for the final round. Satan's team moving very quickly. 8X being a little more conservative this time, and now we're at a standoff, both walls. Both teams are going to have to be quite a bit more tactical about how they handle this. You know, they're starting to catch on to each other's plays. They've seen each other fight, and there goes the first barrage. Using those runes to their advantage could be really helpful. You could create lots of little clumps, and it looks like we have Zella and Lumbridge frozen, Satan moving on the north side. They're going to have to get control. It looks like Lumbridge almost went out early, and Lumbridge is out already, down one fighter. What a huge amount of hits. As we keep moving, there's a clump right in the middle, another Void Waker. Eats and Zella stacked up. Zella breaks the freeze. Satan spearing Keck 9 to the north. Keck 9 may go down here. Oh, full health. He's healed by his teammate. What a fantastic play. Eats tanking up in the ruins south of Zella. Void Wakers and specs after spec. Everybody praying mage on the field right now. These bolts are going to come in huge handy. Looks like there was a big spec to the north there. Eats health low, tanking out, trying to get away. They've got a full focus, an absolute swarm on him. His teammates doing the best they can, but it just is what it is. You move back to the south. Zella taking a lot of damage from Keck 9. Keck 9 taking 10 Venoms. Death to the north. Everybody moves back south. This is an absolute bloodbath. Anybody's game right now. Both teams just going out head-to-head. Minibell tanking to the outside, so that way she can keep giving support and damage. Keck 9 taking a little bit of damage. They're saying of health. Looks like that time over damage, those dots, damage over time, are really hitting him. 37 to the south. Shrek 2 throws a Venge, takes a 40. Looks like he's getting hit. Looks like a whack going in. 37. Shrek tanking the best that he can. Keck 9 taking tons of damage. Either of these players could go out any minute. Keck 9 taking large amounts of damage. Looks like he gets a heal from Minibell to the north. Mini pulling one out of the book of Zella. Another heal. She's vengeance. She's just absolutely keeping alive. Shrek 2 tanking. He's got a spear out. Shrek goes down looking for that spear. That's the third time we've seen him do that. Worry too much about spearing, not enough damage. Keck 9 speared. Absolute war right now. Both of these teams fighting for the end of it through conservatism out the window. Big barrage clump down there. They're doing what they can. Looks like they're going to seed off. In the middle, looks like an AGS whack may go in. Metalhead throwing damage south. Keck looks like he may be going out of the tournament here. He's out of food. Brings out a spear. Looks like he gets saved again by his teammate Minibell doing everything she can to keep him alive. What an absolute play. Looks like we're a little off screen. We're going to get refocused for you guys. Hopefully nothing too big has happened. Looks like we're still fighting. Oh my gosh, just absolute carnage right now. Satan taking the brunt of it. Keck throwing the spears, Mini making sure he stays alive. Big whacks, the smite goes up. Satan doing everything he can. Just may not be enough. Satan is down and out, leaving who? Just Zella on the board?
That's it.
And Zella to the north. This was an absolute massacre. The coordination by Edex was
Oh
amazing.
no, Metal's kicking.
Oh my gosh, they're kicking and
Oh,
punching
no.
Zella to the end. Could this all go bad? If Keck dies during this, that would be an absolute embarrassment. There's the Void Waker, the absolute disrespect of competitors. Zella doing everything she can for her team, though, fighting to the end. And it looks like Zella's going to go out, and Adex's team is going to move on. What an absolute fight by the Satan Warriors, or by the Satan Demons and the Adex Warriors. It was just go, 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 full send from the beginning. Wow, that fight was just huge hits everywhere. I'm going to bring in the leaders and talk. Adex, what a win there in the third round. It was a full force blitz.
I know, that was crazy.
Was that your guys'
We got,
plan? I mean, you dropped everybody so fast.
So basically, our plan was whoever we catch first, we're just gonna send every spec out there. And we did. And we caught Lumbridge out of the best, one of the best there. So that was a good momentum for us that he died so fast. And we caught 2 people in the pile. And that just got our momentum up. From there, it was just soft sailing, you know?
Absolutely, and we bring Minnie in. Minnie was so crucial. We watched so many of your team almost die, and then Minnie on the outside would heal other and send a vengeance to give some relief to the players. And Minnie, you kept all 5 of your teammates alive through a constant barrage of damage coming from Satan's team. I mean, was that the plan the whole time, or were you just on top of it? And it looks like Minnie deafens out on us, maybe not wanting to talk. Look, guys.
Yeah, she did some clutch right there. She did some clutch. I didn't see it because I was an entity hider, but Keck was saying I'm on 5 HP, I'm going down, but then somehow he had 100 HP.
So many times Keck was red barred and Minnie just pulled it out and kept him alive, guys. Congratulations going into the next round. You guys absolutely deserve that win. It was a huge turnaround.
There she is. There she is. She wants to say something.
The MVP herself, Minnie, keeping her team alive.
Minnie?
Yeah. We just kind of talked about it, and I didn't have a lot of experience, so we decided that I should stay in the back.
Yeah, but you did absolutely wonderful. You put lots of bolt damage in. You turned the tides. You kept Keck alive through 4 different major spears where he should have died. And then your vengeances were just putting enough damage back on people to keep them off. And, like we were talking about with Mr. Ewan coming to this tournament, neither of you really had PvP experience, and you stepped out of your comfort zones, and both of you were just absolutely critical to your team's success this week, and we would really love to see you back in future tournaments. So, alrighty, guys, we're going to move you down, and we're going to bring in Dayton and give them a talk.
Sure.
Good luck moving forward. We love to see you in the finals.
Great.
I'll move myself.
Yep, gotcha. Dayton, welcome back. You guys absolutely dominated the first round. The round is just an absolute blitz with Lumbridge getting taken out in the beginning. Did you guys expect them to press you all with the specs like that?
Yeah.
It was a big one. Your guys' team did so good all week. You had the biggest PK of all. You guys did fantastic in this tournament, fighting back each time. Your guys' team did great. Do you have anything to say for your team?
Hey, I'm proud of everyone, bro. They did good this week.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great seeing you come out, especially with everything going on in life. You really brought it in. You brought your team up. You were definitely pushing the most PvP throughout the week, trying to convince fights, taunting people, really showing why you lead such a great PvP clan. And it was just great to have you. And you know, I know next time you had talked that you may be the one hosting the tournament, so you'll be in here with me the whole time, and we'll get Yuki out there, and I
Yes,
really look forward to
sir.
that. You know,
Oh yes, sir. We always have fun on the mic.
fantastic. And I have Color Me up at the GE to collect your guys' money, and you know, you said you're going to throw this party for the guys. Everybody appreciates you.
Yeah, so yeah, when
And
we're
we
done,
appreciate
I'm
your
gonna
effort
throw a
this week.
party.
Absolutely, man. I'm going to move you back down with your team. Thanks again for everything. Your team did fantastic. You put on a hell of a show.
For sure.
Alrighty, guys, we're moving into the finals, the best of three. We have the Sheza Beans versus the 8X Warriors. Sheza Beans absolutely dominated the 8X Warriors in the very first fight. It was an absolute bloodbath. But we've watched the 8X Warriors really turn it around. We watched them play conservatively. We've watched them come out in a full-on blitz that last round to take out the Satan Demons in a way that we haven't seen the entire rest of the tournament. 8X, typically a very well-rounded player, has either been full defense or full court push, and it's been really interesting. Sheza Beans didn't lose a single player in the fight until their very last fight. They dropped 2 people. It's going to be interesting to see how 8X and his team turn it around and re-strategize to put some kind of pushback on them.
Shark said he's trading you.
Oh yeah, I wasn't looking, I was commentating. They're all spam trading me. It's such a fantastic tournament. I can tell you, this has really turned out much better than I could have ever hoped for.
Yeah, you guys were worried that this wouldn't work out. I had my way. I was doing my best to make this work as best as I could.
Oh, absolutely. It was just, you know, this is our first major tournament. And with Moonclan and Moonclan PvP actually being 2 different clans, sometimes it's hard to cross coordinate. And, you know, like I think you did extremely well, you know, like bridging that gap, bringing players from both sides. And then, and in all honesty, just seeing the PVMers and the PvPers being so supportive of each other and understanding each other's roles and teaching each other and giving each other advice, and just the ability to listen to each other unbiasedly has been so impressive. So it's really been such a culmination of all the hard work you have put in over the months. And then, you know, with Project Xanaris being delayed the way it was, you still taking the lead to put this together in a PvP world in a few couple weeks has just been astounding.
Yeah, I wish we definitely could have Project Xanaris. This would have made this tournament a lot easier. So Jagex, you know, if you're watching, you guys are in the office watching this, because it could be. Maybe next time, give us a private world. I'd be alright with that.
If they would just give private event worlds in general, you know, like that would be something we could apply for. Would be fantastic.
Yeah, I told Satan I'm gonna try to email them next time and see if they potentially let me have a world for like 1 week.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and like I feel like you know, I feel like we had a good turnout for this one. We had 3 teams of 5, and we had a couple drop out, but we had so many people lined up, willing to jump in. You know, and that was great.
I'm hoping the next tournament we can maybe get like 8 teams of 5. That'd be great.
I think we're gonna have a much bigger turnout next time, you know, and like with 15 people in a 900 mil pot, I couldn't imagine if we had 20, 30, 40 people all in this tournament willing to fight and willing to make the money. And I know we had talked about next time potentially even doing it in a dead man world, which would throw a whole different world of chaos into what we're doing. But I'll tell you, I cannot say enough, coming from the PvP world, enough good things about the people who came from the main Moonclan, and just their attitude, their willingness to learn, and their willingness to teach us a part of a game that we don't always spend a lot of time doing. You know, it's just been such a great experience to do another co-op event with them, and it really just goes to show that no matter what different worlds we come from, we can all come together, host great events, put on a good time, and all get along. You know, this is really great for both of our communities, if you ask me.
All right, we're gonna be getting started here in the next minute. The start of the final. This is the final match. Whoever wins the best out of 3 in this one is the winner. You know what? I'll be very proud of 8X's team if they win this, because they literally went from the very bottom of the losers bracket, losing against Shez's team, to coming back, and if they win that, I mean, you got to give them some dedication for that one. Now they are going against a titan of a team right now. They are at a disadvantage, you know, being down 2 brews and 2 food against them. But you know, all it takes, you know, just color. As you know, all it takes is good RNG, a good Doomsaber AGS for a 7, and someone will die.
Yeah, one good spec, one accidental misheal. You know, we have Minibel really running those heals so well, and if she just accidentally clicks the wrong person, it could change the tide of a fight. You know, we see barrage clumps where teams are accidentally barraging 2 of their members just to hit 1. You know, it's anything could happen at this point. And with a 2 out of 3, with the confidence 8X team has to have after that absolutely dominant last win, this just could be anybody's game.
All right, here we go.
And we're off, guys. This is the finals. Winner of the best 2 of 3 of this will walk away with 900 million gold to split between their team. Such a great prize pool for a 1-week party. And it looks like we have breezes. We have one of the Shezas caught, no prayer on, frozen right in the center. It looks like they're trying to play the ruins a little bit, but they're trying to be drawn out. 8X trying to fight in the open field. We see Vengeance is popping off. Did I just see somebody fall already? I saw something happen. We were panning over. Sheza's team holding conservatively, spread out very well. 8X in the middle. Nobody in a clump. Minibel on the outside. Looks like she may have just healed somebody. Saw her health drop a little low. It doesn't look like we have any kind of focus. And AGS coming in a 60, and Metal goes down off prayer. And a TY from one of the Shezas. Absolute disrespect at the end of this tournament. Knowing exactly what they did wrong. The piles are starting to come together. Minibel on the outside. Minibel is down. She couldn't get her health back up in time. It looks like the 8X Warriors are falling apart. A 22 on Prairie gets his Protect from Melee up just in time. The Shezas are absolutely ruthless right now. Keck 9 on the top. 1v1s going everywhere. 2v1 in the middle. Protecting from Melee. He finally gets it over. Barrage Freeze in the center. We have 8X Doomsaber and Keck 9 left on the board. We're not sure what they're going to do to turn this around. All 5 of the Sheza Beans still going. A lot of movement on the field. Very hard to keep up with. Doomsaber tanking an AGS on prayer from one of the Shezas. Absolute great timing and catch. It looks like we still don't have a good focus. Looks like Doom is now the center focus, taking a 24-24 on prayer from those bolts. And a staff bash from Doom. Doom looks like he may be panicking. He caught frozen. He's trying to tank out of the center. 8X comes back into the fight after healing up. It looks like they're just on Doom. He's got his Phoenix necklace on, doing everything he can to stay alive for his team. Keck 9 and 8X on the north on a 2v1, dealing 0 damage off prayer. Shez is just tanking that with his Pray Magic up. Looks like Doom got speared and slashed. He's inside. He should have shut that door behind him. He's just doing anything he can to separate the damage. It was a great move on Doomsaber's part. 8X Keck 9 in the center. They're stacked up. It looks like they may get caught in a barrage pile. Keck 9 and 8X taking barrage to the south. Keck 9 seeds off. Fantastic play on his part. Doomsaber to the north. It's a 2v2 to the south and 2v1 to the north. Can't figure out who's going to go out first. Doom doing a phenomenal job of keeping the additional damage off his team and staying alive. Looks like we're just bolting on prayer. 8X dips inside. 2v2. Doom goes down. It is 2v5. It's an absolute one-sided fight right now. 8X and Keck stuck in a pile together. Keck once again seeding off. Great use of those seeds. They need to get that door shut so they can get a regroup. They're going to have to pull them in, catch them in a huge clump to pull this off. The Sheza's Beans just looking calm, cool, collected, and complete control of that. The Shezas get pulled into a clump. 8X shuts the door for the regroup. Brilliant play on his part. Barrage clump. He needs to capitalize on that. He almost had 3 pulled in. Oh, but he misses the back freeze. And a Voidwaker spec. 29 unfortunate. Huge chance on one of their players. Keck 9 comes out, absolute staff bash. 8X looks like he's the center of the pile now. One of the Shezas actually specs his own teammate there. Luckily a 0 off prayer on Robes. Absolutely unfortunate. 8X in the center of this bloodbath. Looks like he's getting it. We really could use Keck 9 to get some damage in there. 8X tanking though. 15 off prayer AGS, unfortunate. 30-15. ADEX doing everything he can to stay alive, but it doesn't look like it may be enough. All Sheza still absolutely no sweat. There's no pressure on them at all. It's just, once again, them showing exactly what they do best. ADEX low health, looks like this may be it for ADEX unless he's still hiding some food. Small heals, looks like he's surviving on bruise. Keck 9 dealing some damage, but not doing enough to get him. Oh, and there goes ADEX. And it is 5v1 Keck 9 trying to keep it alive for his team. But it doesn't look like there's any way they'll keep it to the next round. Looks like they're going to go in 0-1. Keck 9 just doing what he can. He just whacks lots of zeros. Very unfortunate RNG to not move this faster into the next round. Another 0. We saw a little bit of banter earlier with the TY drop on that big AGS spec, but we don't see much of it right now. Curious to see how that goes. What'd you think of that first round, Yuki?
In my opinion, I think they just gotta start anticipating those big specs and actually start tanking, because that is a problem I've seen with ADEX team. They do tend to fall from not tanking very good.
They don't seem to watch their overhead. They spend a lot of time moving, a lot of time eating, but we've watched them continuously take huge bolts and huge specs off prayer. That was, once again, the Sheza Beans showing exactly what they've done all week, exactly what they've all done all tournament, and why they deserve to be in these finals. Sheza, welcome back. Winner's Circle again, an absolutely dominant performance, and we saw some banter coming from your team. Was that chatted up in there, or was that just spur of the moment, T-wise?
I think it made spur of the moment, because even through Mage Prayer, I managed to get snapped out with Void Waker, so they did well though, very good.
Yeah, your team just seems so collected. They don't get caught in giant piles. They don't seem to panic. You guys must have great communication inside of your chat there.
Yeah, I mean, all 5 of us have a lot of PvP experience, so anyone can step up to call. But yeah, very, very good.
Fantastic. So you guys plan on sweeping this tournament with no losses then?
We hope so. It'd make it easier for us.
It's a huge, huge prize pool right now.
Definitely. Massive.
So good luck, man. One more to go. You guys sweep the tournament, no losses, and if you manage to get through this next part, that means you'll have only had 2 deaths the entire tournament. That's absolutely fantastic in these finals. So I'll move you back down, and best of luck to you guys.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
ADEX, you guys kind of crumbled there. What happened?
It just happens, we did good at first, killed one, but unfortunately their RNG was okay after one of their guy died, and they hit one of our guy with a big hit, and after that, again, we tried to adapt. We were just all over the place, but we tried our best. So this third round, or is our second round, right?
This will be your second round.
Like I said, we want them to feel what victory feels like, right? And they're gonna kneel. That's all about.
Absolutely. I mean, they've only had 2 deaths in this finals tournament. Both came from the Satan Demons. And they, as of right now, have a clean sweep. So let's see if you guys can get it together and put a loss on their egos.
For sure.
Get them back for that mid-game banter. I'm going to move you back down, and good luck to you guys. We hope to see you in round 3. A lot of confidence coming from ADEX after that round, and with as strong as Sheza is, I'm curious to see if we can drag this to round 3.
Yeah, what a tournament, man.
It's just so many ups and downs, and we had such a slow start, and then just to see all of it pick up, and when people fought the Satan Demons in the open, they really had quite a few big moments to shine through. And then they fought great, and Briar's team had such standout moments once they got outside of that house and they fought in the open, and they shown how experienced Briar is as a PvP caller, and then all these inexperienced people really, really playing their part, making this tournament something super special. Tactics, I never thought I would see a heal other outside of a spear pile.
That is funny. I've never seen that before.
It's been great. And then just watching Minnie and Zella use Vengeance to take the pressure and force people to eat to take the pressure off of their teammates. It's just so big. It's just such a clever way to do it. And I'm really excited to see in our next tournament more creative things like that. You know, we're sitting at the Grand Exchange right now. We're up to 342 mil from the losing teams. Feels like we are missing something there. It should maybe be a little bit higher. We got to figure out who hasn't paid up yet. But so far, it's just been absolutely big.
That 900 mil is like all the teams, like with what they're wagering. So it will add up to 900 something mil. It's just like there'll be 5 people that won't pay him because they won.
You know, and if you want to come hang out with the people in our tournament, we are hanging out in 408 Grand Exchange. You know, if you are in the main Moonclan with PvP Moonclan, go grab your clan capes, grab your vexes, come hang out with us, you know, have a little good time, talk, meet the players, you know, see their experience, maybe see if you want to join one of the clans, you know, do a little recruiting.
All right, we're about to get started here.
All right, going in, this could be it. If the Sheza Beans sweep this, they are the winners of the first ever Moonclan All-Stars. 900 mil on the line. The pressure is absolutely on for the 8X Warriors.
Here we go.
And it looks like we are off. Hey Yuki, while you're doing that general text or that general channel up there, could you make it open so everybody can see it?
They can see it.
Okay, just making sure Satan asked for one. I just want to make sure people could go in there and talk. Also, if you are in the Moonclan All-Stars event server, feel free to go into the general voice and chat with everybody while the rest of this tournament goes on. It looks like we're playing very conservatively. Keck 9, Mini Bell, everybody moving to the north. 8X doesn't want to face Sheza out in open combat. But it looks like Sheza, and then we're going to chase them down. You know, the Sheza Beans have nothing to lose. They can take one loss and still come back and win in the finals. And I would love to see that go one more round. You know, the Sheza Beans have just, once again, so dominant. It looks like we are finally into a fight. There's a 3-man clump on the north side with Keck 9, 8X, and Metalhead. Looks like Sheza's going in, trying to take Metalhead out early. Metal's head looking a little soft as he gets hit with a 35. Doomsaber, the current tank, going on. Sheza, they're around. They see the 3-man, but they're not capitalizing on it. One of the Sheza takes a 48 Voidwaker. This is what we saw earlier with the Satan Demons. They're absolutely rushing the specs. Sheza, though, eating out of it back to full health. They've missed that opportunity, and in doing so, put themselves in a 3-man. Minibell keeping them alive.
That was a chance there on LRG.
An absolutely massive chance on LRG. But it looks like Sheza's team is all spread out again. Looks like they're tanking back. Smart move by Metalhead being chased. Minibell in the background keeping him alive. The other Sheza going to the south side to catch him. It looks like they're going to isolate him. So much going on at once. What a great fight so far. Sheza's all maintaining their distance so they don't get caught. 8X coming around the bottom side. They have one Sheza out on his own. Metalhead tanking. Keck 9, Mini Belt. It looks like 8X's team isn't great. They need to capitalize it and get those bolts in.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I just saw Doom die.
I may have missed him, but he may be down. I don't see him on the map. Doom could be out of this tournament completely. Metalhead putting in bolts where he can. Another barrage clump, though. Mini and Keck 9 are constantly on top of each other. That is going to cause a lot of unnecessary damage. One Sheza out in the open taking bolts. Can they get him, though? Low health, big Voidwaker 22. That was a massive chance. And unfortunately, they just couldn't get the spec. You know, Voidwaker is such a great weapon because it's guaranteed accuracy, but more commonly than not, hits below 35, or at least in my experience, which could just be me. Those AGSs today have been so freaking big for winning these tournaments. Once again, Doomsaber out. Full team for Sheza Beans still. Unfortunately, it seemed like 8X is able to capitalize at Keck 9 taking absolutely well. We are in 408 at the Grand Exchange right now, if you'd like to hang out with everybody. Minnie Bell in the background, her prayer is down, but she's doing her best to keep Keck 9 alive. Sheza's staying fairly well spread to not get caught in clumps, but they're using those ruins to their advantage. Looks like there's a freeze on the inside there. Will they come in for it? Keck 9 stuck on the outside. Looks like Keck 9 may go down here. Keck 9 is out. The Sheza Beans absolutely dominating this round. I don't know if there's anything you can turn around. Minnie Bell healing to keep him alive. Looks like she's going to need to keep her health of prayer up. Big specs coming in. AGS is off prayer, zeros. Once again, we talked about that earlier. ADEX's team getting hit lots off prayer, but doing everything they can to stay alive. One Sheza froze south. Minnie Bell still doing her best. And it looks like we're going to the north. It looks like they're going to make this an absolute blowout. 8X and Metalhead both stuck in a clump. Not sure if those two Shezas are frozen or not, but that could be a great opportunity, both praying range, just taking tremendous amounts of bolts. Minnie Bell with more support from the outside. Unfortunately, she's frozen and DD'd under. There's nothing she can do to negate that damage. Big Voidwaker again, but it was on prayer that time. They got nothing out of it. Metalhead tanking to the south. 8X looking low on health. Big Spec 56. 8X is out. It is just Metalhead, I believe, left on the map. Metalhead, Minnie Bell, maybe? Fighting out for their team. Big barrage clump there. Not sure if there's much we can do. The Shezas aren't even all helping at this point. I think they know they have it won. Smites up on the board. Minnie Bell, big vengeance in the back. Could have took him out there, unfortunately, but she ate out of it. You know, Minnie has had a fantastic time combo eating. You know, I know combo eating isn't something that is done a lot in PVM, but man, she has just absolutely stayed alive through every round, holding out to the end. Metal doing his best to do it, but it looks like he's not going to get it. Prayer drops, Metal goes down. Minnie Bell, the last one on the map, Minnie goes down. What an absolutely fantastic tournament. And the Sheza Beans are the winner of the very first Moonclan PvP All-Stars.
Wow, what a sweep.
All right, we're going to bring Sheza in and talk. Sheza, congratulations, an absolute tournament sweep. You went into the finals, didn't lose a single player.
Yeah, it were very fun. We enjoyed it. It were just as we planned. Our tactics tend to work. So yeah, it was good.
Absolutely. No, it was a fantastic win. Your team did so good. You managed your distance. You didn't get pulled into clumps. You know, you handled any kind of pressure put on you. You all tanked without the addition of the healers the other teams had. I don't think you could have asked for anything better. Is there anything you would have changed about your team?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it would have been nicer to have made a bit more money in week, so we could have had a bit better spec weapons. But other than that, I think our gear and that we were happy with.
Yeah, no, I thought it was absolutely great. I think you guys did absolutely fantastic. We're going to move your team up here, see if they have anything to say going into this. That was absolutely fantastic.
On behalf of the team, I want to say thanks to Yuki, obviously, for hosting it, because it's been a great tournament. And then you and Org for reffing and doing your jobs. It's been a good tournament. We've thoroughly enjoyed it. And for all the people that haven't done PvP, they've come and enjoyed it and done a good job as well.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been absolutely great. We had positivity from you guys all week. You never got caught up on any mishaps that happened or any rulings that you didn't agree with. You were constantly very grateful, very communicative. I mean, we couldn't have asked more for you guys. And like I said, you guys absolutely dominated this tournament, from fights in the beginning, all the breaches, and then in the final tournament. You know, just congratulations, guys. And we just want to bring you in, see if there's anything anybody else had to say. And, you know, we have got to keep you guys separated in the next tournament, because there's no way we can have this happen again.
I mean, during the week, we did try target a decent KD to have the extra food, because we did think that we wouldn't make the most money with obviously a lot of PVMers in the other teams. So we tried to focus on getting a good KD so that we'd have a bit extra food, which helps massively, because that last fight there, I were fully out of food with 2 P-nets left there.
Yeah, that's so big. I mean, that food really just come into play. And it does go to show how important those breaches are and how important it was to get those kills on the other players throughout the team during the week. Because there were some teams that didn't focus on the PvP portion. They mostly just farmed and tried to stay alive. And those risks paid off for you guys today.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with our time zone for the breach, we ran into Nintends a lot, and we loved to have a little multi battle, and we were hoping to get as many kills as we could on them, just so that we could try get a decent KD.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what was your guys' maybe biggest challenge throughout this tournament?
I think it were ideas on making money. I think we all tried a bit of everything. We did a bit of Zulra. We did our normal, like our zombies and the normal wildy bosses and things like that, because that's our nature. But doing out of the wildy content, I think we didn't do enough of it.
LRG did a lot of Duke, didn't he? LRG did a lot of Duke.
And I did quite a lot of Gauntlet, but no luck, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations again, guys. We have a Derek tournament coming up in a couple months. We'd love to see you guys there for that. And if not, we'll see you at the next tournament.
Lovely,
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I'll move you back.
And I want to say thank you to Satan as well for doing a drop party at the end. He didn't have to do it, but for everybody that's participated, it's a very good and nice thing for him to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, guys. I'll move you back down your channel, or you can choose to go up into the general voice with everybody else, but we'll catch you later. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, Sheza's team, humble even in victory. They had every right to talk as much shit as they want. They chose not to. Can't think of anybody else who deserved it better than to see the Sheza Beans win today. I feel like everybody learned a lot this tournament. We're going to have lots of great changes going into the next one that Satan hosts, and it can only get better as we get more and more people involved.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much, everybody who turned out to watch as well, guys. I mean, we can do these tournaments all these want, but we put them on for you guys. We put them on for the competitors, so that way they can win some money and have a good time. We put it on for you guys to watch and encourage you guys to be more rounded in the game. There's a large divide between the PVM and the PvP community, and things like this just go to show that we can have a good time, we can work together, that the wilderness isn't so bad, and not everybody who PVMs all day are mean, sweaty nerds, So we do really appreciate you guys coming out. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate your support. Any recommendations you guys also in the audience have, please feel free to send them over. We'd love to hear your opinions. We'd love feedback so that we can make the next tournament better than the last.
I'm just gathering all the money right now. right. All right, Keller. I think that's everything. You want to say anything at the end of the stream? I'm gonna end it here pretty soon, or here in just a second.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like to thank everybody again. Like I said, the constant support from you guys lets us do this stuff. I love that you guys all came to watch today and cheered on your favorite teams. And we look forward to having you back for the Darroch tournament, potentially participating, and then our next All-Stars, which will, I'm hoping, be early next year. And then thank you again, Yuki, for putting it on and letting me commentate the whole thing.
Yep, thank you. You did really good. Alright guys, I'm in the stream. Thanks for viewing in, and thanks for your show of support on on all these teams. I'm sure it'll make him want to do this again. Alright, but I'm going to be ending the stream here, and we're going to have our little drop party now. So, thanks again guys. Have a good rest of your evening or day or whatever it is for you.